I can't take it. No, please, no!
The Until Dawn movie is really speaking my language with an exciting new trailer that dropped today, as well as an interesting interview with the creatives that brought us this video game adaptation. Without further ado, let's get into the update. Hey everybody, I'm KillJoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. The new trailer for the Until Dawn movie that drops in just a couple of months here came out today, and it essentially just fleshes out the interesting concept that this reimagining is toying with. The new trailer features a lot of the same shots you've pretty much already seen from the previous marketing drops, yet they play most of the scenes with our main characters in reverse, while the villains themselves are still just running right at the camera. It's essentially an artsy reinforcement of this new concept that the movie is playing with that wasn't necessarily present in the games, but if you were playing it like from the perspective of the player, it does kind of seem like you're just bringing these characters back to life and going down different paths. So hopefully they'll survive. Or maybe you want to kill them again in a super vicious way. Dude, that's pretty artsy for a big release like this. Major props to the marketing team on this one. Speaking of neat hidden little details, the new character posters feature something similar. Our lead character, Clover, played by Ella Rubin, is featured on all 5 of these bad boys with varying degrees of damage. She's also hiding from a different entity on each poster, once again cementing this concept without telling me too much about the plot itself. Say what you will about this reimagining not following the video game story to an absolute T, but I'll tell you what, man, I am so intrigued just from the marketing alone. If this was a standalone movie, I think there would be a lot more positive things to say about it. With that being said though, I can understand why some of the video game fans aren't super crazy about how this one is looking though. It is certainly a reimagining, but it seems like it's still going to have ties to the video game itself. There's a brand new Dread Central interview with director David F. Sandberg and co-writer Blair Butler. TLDR, they talk about how brutal the film is and how it definitely earns the R rating. They also talk about why they didn't want to do this exact one-to-one copy of the video game. They even go so far as to call it this excellent 10-hour movie that is just great the way it is. And considering that many players have gone through this video game multiple times, especially considering that a remake was just released for this movie late last year, it kinda just seems redundant to go through that exact same story again in a film version. Personally, I think this was the right call, but I do agree with a lot of the fans criticizing this movie, saying they probably should have used the same characters from the video game. This is one of those rare cases where the video game cast is much stronger than the film cast itself. No shade towards the film's cast, I mean there's a lot of great up-and-comers here, but there are some horror legends in that video game, dude. Speaking of connections to the game, however, we already know that Peter Stormare, who of course plays Dr. Hill from the game, is in this movie playing some sort of redneck gas station clerk. Dr. Hill must have fallen upon hard times, man. Trust me, we're all feeling the squeeze, man. Nothing to be ashamed of. Seriously though, Sandberg says that he's been a fan of Peter's for a long time, even wanting him to play a part in his feature directorial debut, Lights Out, a spooky, scary jump scare movie that I highly recommend, especially if you're a fan of Insidious, Sinister, Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, movies like that. Talking about getting Peter Stormare on this project, Sandberg says, I actually wanted to get him in Until Dawn. I wrote him a letter since I'm a fellow Swede. I wrote it in Swedish, and I told him I tried to get you already in my first movie. And he was like, well, of course I'm going to be in Until Dawn, so he was awesome. David also spoke about his mysterious role in the film, saying, I think Hill is such a great character. He really makes that character. I can't really get into how he plays a role in this movie, but he for sure does because he is our biggest connection to the game and that world and the lore of it. Mary Beth McAndrews, who's conducting this interview for Dread Central, even goes on to say that she was super happy that Peter Stormare isn't just a glorified cameo here. They don't seem to disagree with that. That's really making me wonder, is this actually Dr. Hill? Has he actually fallen on hard times? Wait, what is going on here? I swear that was just a joke.
Every single choice will affect your fate and the fate of those around you.
It seems like he's here to flesh out the game's lore a little bit, which sounds like this meta reimagining is possibly going to get into the same stuff as the video game. Maybe we just don't know how quite yet. I mean, we're already seeing some similar story beats like the missing sister and just a bunch of characters going back to a cabin in the woods somewhere. I'm doing a little more than keeping an open mind with this movie. I'm actually pretty excited to see this one. Sure, it's not the video game we all know and love, but I'm excited to see what they do with a kind of a fresh take on the same concept. The Until Dawn Dawn movie drops on April 25th of this year, just like 2 months away. That's not even that bad of a wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my favorite part of the video now. It's time for some push-ups, but I think I'm gonna switch it up today and do some squats instead. I actually had a personal trainer comment on the previous video saying I gotta switch it up. You can't skip leg day, it's very important. And I'm also a little disappointed in all of you. 700 views on the last video. That means I only gotta do 7 squats. Come on, give me a challenge with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Should I just do this? I look like I'm doing the Rasputin dance. We're gonna go to 10 because this is a lot easier than push-ups. I got some strong legs. This is my strong hand. Come on, folks, you gotta kick my ass into shape here. Let's get at least 1,000 views on the next one. How are you guys feeling about the Until Dawn movie and today's updates? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching. Please subscribe because we're almost at 30,000 subs. Oh my god! And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.